You know what's so much fun to do is to go to a free seed swap or plant swap. And luckily, I was able to find a few groups where we do this a couple times a year, and was able to go with one of my friends, the gardening artist, Reba. Make sure that you check out her channel as well. This last weekend, we went to a plant swap, and I came home with a lot of free plants. Did I need more plants? Probably yes. Probably not, probably yes. I definitely came home with some. And of course I brought plenty to share with the swap as well. And there will be a couple more this year before the year is over. But if you are interested in growing a garden, one fun way to get free plant material is to join a group. So it could be on Facebook or other different places. I use Facebook. There are seed swap groups, free seed swaps. Some charge money. I wouldn't personally do those. But the free seed swaps where you actually mail someone seeds and they mail them back to you, those are kind of fun. Every once in a while you'll send seeds to somebody and they don't send them back. They don't send you something back. But if you have a lot of a certain type of variety, I guess it doesn't really, it's okay. It's okay. So it really does make up for it, because there are going to be some people who are overly generous. What they might say, I'm going to give you hollyhock seeds, and then they send you hollyhock seeds and calendula and flax and a bunch of other stuff. So it does all come out in the wash. Okay. But I had a great time. I came home with a couple house plants that I brought to my classroom, and a lot of perennials that I'm going to be, some of them are kind of new to my garden. Either over the years, I have some perennials that are not long living perennials. So it just depends. And I'm really excited to have these items in my garden now. So let's take a look and see what I got. Have to do a little bit of research on some of the seed varieties I picked up this time, to make sure that I plant them at the right time of year. Now, one person did give me the borage plant, or that borage plant is likely going to be an annual, but if I put it in the ground, the flowers will go to seed and I'll have seeds for next year. So I always love to grow borage. The flowers taste like cucumbers, and they are so beloved by bumblebees and all types of pollinators. Definitely scored on that one. Just to go and talk to people. A lot of people like talking about the plants that they have, and what people are generally sharing are things that grow in like abundance for them, and they have all sorts of tips and tricks on how to make it grow in abundance for you. So joining a group and doing seed swaps and plant swaps is a really great place to not just get plant material to grow, but also to get that wisdom and information that could be the trick between having a really thriving garden and not. So for free, right? It's like a free course that you get, and it's super fast, and you come away with not only the planting material, sometimes even getting pots for free, and seeds and plant material, but also getting that wisdom. The ladies who hosted the swap this time, they're so sweet. They actually had like coffee and hot cocoa and stuff like that. And we didn't help ourselves to that. We had other plans, but it was so nice that they thought about it. And a lot of people just stopped in, had a little beverage or refreshment as they were walking around grabbing planting material. There were a few people who stopped and asked me, hey, what's going on here? Because they didn't know what was going on. I said, well, this is a swap, a plant swap, but you're welcome to get items as well. You don't have to contribute to participate. It's really nice when you're in a group like ours, because you actually, it's not like stingy, it's really generous. And most people are like so happy to give you what from their abundance. And many of us have been gardening a really long time and have so many plants to give that it's nice to invite people in who might see us in some random park or parking lot, and they see all the plant stuff happening. They come over, they're curious, and we talk to them about it, and some of them end up joining the group. So it's kind of cool. And it's fun when they have younger people coming along and choosing plants. This time I didn't see a lot of younger people, but at the last one or the time before, there were like little children coming along and asking me questions about my plants, and I was so happy because, as a teacher, I just love to see that enthusiasm and joy for gardening. And most of the other people there too are so happy to just give the plants away. We have so many already, so it's a way for us to share. Sometimes we go and give more, give less. Sometimes we take more, sometimes we take less. This time I came away with a lot. I got a lot of variegated irises and some that smell like root beer. Some people say that all bearded irises smell like root beer. Do you think so? So I'm going to be really interested to see if these smell like root beer. And I'm also curious what the variegated irises are going to look like for the flowers. But I'm really happy with the foliage. The foliage alone is really beautiful. One of the ladies who frequently comes to the swaps, she usually will bring some broken blinds, and I'm sure a lot of people like walk past it and don't even know what it's for. A lot of people have stopped and explained to other people, you can use these for plant tags. They actually work really well and they last a really long time. So if you have blinds, window blinds, the thin white slots, if you have those that break down over time and you're replacing them with curtains or whatever, you can cut them away from like the mechanical part at the top and cut away all the little strings and stuff, and you can cut them into like 12-inch pieces or longer or shorter, however you prefer. Sometimes it's nice to have a variety of lengths, and you can use that to do name tags. I think she uses pencil, but you could also use like Sharpie marker on them. They even work better than actual plant tags. So those are super cheap, and I did grab a handful of those during the seed swap. So it wasn't actually a plant, but I grabbed some of those as well. Have I convinced you to join a group yet? You want to find something local to you, something that's convenient, and also because the people who are sharing their plants, they're going to be sharing mostly things that grow well in your region. So you want to find something that's local to you. If you go onto Facebook and you type in a city near you, like a main city, and then you can also type in really local cities and see if you can find something the closer the better. Some groups are more active than others, so you might want to join 1 or 2 groups just to see like how it's going. But the seed swap groups are like nationwide, so there are a lot of seed swap groups where it's by mail, postal mail, and some barely have any activity, so you can kind of check on there. There are going to be some people try to take advantage of you, and I just take it as like, you know what, that was a gift. I just gave them a gift and just let it go, right? But if you're really looking for a really good deal, seed swapping, kind of talk it out ahead of time when you're messaging each other what you're expecting to get, like, and what you're going to give them. Like, if you're going to give them 5 or 10 seeds, then let them know so that they're not giving you 50 or 100 in exchange. And keep in mind too that if you're doing a seed swap, you might be swapping a really common variety and somebody else might be swapping a really rare variety, or you might be swapping tiny little rose campion seeds that don't cost anything to mail, practically just 1 stamp, and somebody else might be having to put extra postage because they have to include bubble wrap because they have squash seeds or something larger that could get crushed in the mail. They have like the machines and stuff. You might need to write on the back of it, do not machine. Even if you write do not machine, sometimes they will, and some of the seeds will get broken. So if you're going to do mail swaps for seeds, include some bubble wrap. I like to use like a thank you card, and I put some bubble wrap inside of it too. Just 1 or 2 pieces, depending on what kind of seed it is. If it's like a broccoli seed or rose campion, those tiny little poppy seeds, 1 piece of bubble wrap is good. If it's like a squash seed, you're going to need to like put a piece of bubble wrap on both sides of it, and then you're going to have to put extra postage and make sure that you have enough postage on there. Otherwise, they might charge somebody on the other end when they receive those seeds. Again, I had so much fun, and I hope that you enjoyed looking at some of the items that I saw. I did take some pictures of things. I didn't always get everything, but a lot of the things I took pictures of are things that I decided to take home with me, or maybe things in the past that I've taken home with me. So take a look at some of those pictures. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Pop a comment in the bottom if you saw any plants that you thought were especially interesting, or if you have any questions about anything I mentioned so far. All right, everybody, you know what I say. Be good, be sweet, and grow a garden if you want to eat. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.